Alright, so I might be like really late on this, but it's better late than ever, and honestly I don't think there's anybody else that does it as good as me, so let's get into it. So a bunch of Dynasty Warriors 9 Empires gameplay dropped about a week ago. This includes official footage from Koei Tecmo themselves, the ChinaJoy Livestream showcase, and of course the classic, you know, the ghetto little phone footage from the side of the booth. And basically I'm going to compile all the information and put it all in this one video in like a structured, you know what I'm saying, like, you know what I'm saying. The first thing you're gonna see when you watch the gameplay is that, yeah, the Dynasty Warriors 9's core combat system is not going to be changed. There's going to be flow attacks, there's going to be 4 trigger attacks, state combos are coming back, but besides the core combat system, you can see on the left that there's actually L1 actions, and these are actually stratagems. If you play Dynasty Warriors 7 or 8 Empires, then you're going to be pretty familiar with stratagems. Essentially, stratagems can vary from an extra attack to stat buffs, or even like a large scale stratagem which can change the entire flow of like an entire battle. So I'm actually really happy that they added stratagems, because that actually adds like an extra layer of like customization, combat options. It's honestly just like an addition to the gameplay, which we can't ignore, because Dynasty Warriors 9's gameplay system is, you know, it needed a little bit more. And if we keep moving around the screen looking at the heads-up display, there's going to be a morale bar on the top right. And this time it's actually going to include the troop numbers, which is a really nice addition. And you're also going to see that there's going to be a grappling hook symbol, which is crossed off, which means you can't use your grappling hook. But we'll get back to it when you can use the grappling hook, and I'll explain that. Other than that, let's address the elephant in the room here. This map is huge, but I actually really like that the map is this big, because if anything, making the map more prominent on the screen just means that positioning in this game is going to be a lot more important, or they're just trying to reduce the amount of times you actually hit the pause menu, which is going to, you know, interrupt the entire flow of the game. And the last thing I'll notice on the bottom left of the screen is that you can actually see what class the character you are using. Cheng here is actually a infantry type, Zhao is actually a cavalry type, and Cao Shu is an archery type. And these 3 types work in like a class triangle system, just like in like Fire Emblem, or what we knew in Dynasty Warriors 8, which was the Heaven, Earth, and Man system that they have with the switch weapons. And in essence, it's gonna work like that, where, you know, infantry is gonna be cavalry, cavalry is gonna be archery, and archery is gonna be infantry. What this means is that those classes are gonna do extra damage to the class that they have an advantage against. And I'm not too sure about this, but I believe that each class is gonna have an active. Put a big asterisk, question mark, whatever you want right there, because archers can summon the whistling arrow attack in Dynasty Warriors 9 siege battles. I think that only cavalry troops can call upon a horse. And as far as infantry troops go, I don't know if they have an active skill to their class. It could be a sprint button, honestly, I have no idea. Other than that, infantry troops can also deal more damage to siege weapons, and cavalry troops deal more damage to bases. So this class triangle system is gonna add like an extra layer of depth to you motherfucker, you guys know what I'm talking about. Y'all was on my ass. Y'all was on my ass about me not pronouncing depth right. And you got it. But yeah, this is gonna add an entire new layer of depth to the gameplay. And I hope that it's actually a lot more prominent than it is in the gameplay demo that they showcased. But other than that, did you see that? Did you fucking see that? Apparently, when you go next to an allied officer, you get 3 button prompts on your D-pad. And these can range from ordering them to attack bases or ordering them to defend bases. So like automatically once I saw this, I'm like, holy sh! This paired with the minimap increasing in size and the amount of information being displayed on the minimap actually makes it so that they reduce the amount of times you have to press the pause menu, look at the map, individually order your allies, and honestly it's a W. And this top option is actually a pair-up system. Basically what happens is when you pair up with an officer, they're gonna follow you around. You're going to be able to do Team Muso attacks with them. And on top of that, you'll get the benefits of your partner's class, which here, Dongbai gets Lu Bu's cavalry class. So yeah, this class system, I hope that this can actually affect the gameplay to where it has even like more challenge, more options at your disposal and all that stuff, which it seems like it, but we'd have to actually see how it plays out when it's in our hands, whenever this fucking game drops, right? Alright, let's finally get to like the actual core of Dynasty Warriors 9 Empires Gameplay Edition, like the biggest thing. Oh my god, it's the fucking siege battles. So yeah, the siege battles from Dynasty Warriors 9 are coming back, but with like a ton of new additions, really. They added bases, they cut off the map into a square, there's gonna be catapults, ladders, rams, and the biggest change from previous Empires games is that there's no more supply lines, which means that you and your troops don't have to follow a set path or like defeat this base before defeating this base, you can actually freely move to any base you want to attack and attack it. This goes the same for the enemy too, so like, you're always going to want to look at the mini-map to see which base is being attacked, which base you should attack, etc, etc. So yeah, you may be thinking, that's cool, but how do I get in the castle? Well, there's actually 3 different ways you can get inside the castle. This includes capturing a battering ram base and escorting it to the gate, capturing a siege ladder tower and escorting it to the wall, or you can capture enough catapults and wait for the catapults to actually attack and capture all the archer posts on the side of the enemy castle wall. And after the catapults are doing what they do, then you can use your grappling hook. Oh, that's when you can finally use your grappling hook. So you have 3 options to infiltrate the castle, and once you infiltrate the castle, it's basically just bum rush the boss and defeat him, and you win the battle. Now, I know what you're thinking. Dynasty Warriors 9 was notorious for you just being able to go straight to the enemy boss and just kill him off the rip. But when you choose to attack one of these important bases, just be prepared, because code motherfucking red, as soon as you land 1 foot in the base, you're going to get collapsed on by basically every enemy officer in the vicinity. Holy shit, is that Lubu? Wait, that ain't no Lubu, that's just a bitch. So now you may be thinking, KC, how do defensive battles work? Essentially, defensive battles are going to be trying to stop the enemy forces from infiltrating your base, or you can just bum rush the main camp. Honestly, there's nothing stopping you, aside from maybe he might be a little bit stronger, but yeah, that's basically it. Also, you were probably wondering, and I was also wondering, isn't this going to be boring just attacking the same castle? Well, that's where map variety comes out. Because if you actually look at this other stage, you can see that inside of the castle, there's going to be catapults. Which means it's not going to be so simple in other stages, because they're going to have catapults that you can't even touch, harassing your entire army. So on the topic of like difficulty and whatnot, enemies also get stratagems. And enemy stratagems are going to pop up as a side quest that you can prevent them from doing their stratagem. And this stratagem is going to spawn a bunch of juggernauts that are going to wreak havoc amongst your force. And in order to prevent these juggernauts from being spawned in, you have to capture these 3 specific bases within a time limit. So cool, we know how the class system works, we know how the siege battle works. What other cool stuff is going to be in the game? Well, for one, DLC weapons are actually making a return. Liu Lingqi is actually shown using the Crosspike DLC weapon, and Sun Jian is using the Twin Blade moveset, and also they're going to be playable DLC characters such as Dong Bai available in the base game. And wait a minute guys, wait a minute. Apparently, there's gonna be approximately 700 playable characters. Holy shit, it's better than Warriors Orochi 4. Look, if you played an Empires game, you know what I'm talking about when I say there's gonna be an absurd number of playable characters. And it just means you can play as generic officers, and the only thing that's different about them is their name. I still find it funny that they've been using like this absurd playable character amount as like advertising in like the back of the boxes. If you remember in Dynasty Warriors 5 Empires, they would say you can play as over 100 characters or something. I thought that was hella funny because it's like, yeah, you can, but then they're not like different, you know? Alright, so this next part of the video, I'm actually going to be talking about an interview that happened with Akihiro Suzuki. But I want to put a disclaimer here. I didn't find any officially translated transcript of this in English, and this is my attempt to fix that. Now, keep in mind, this could possibly be mistranslated, so I could be wrong. There's gonna be no naval battles, makes sense. They're not bringing back Chinese dub. It's also been confirmed that characters like Ma Chao, who's known for being one of the best cavalry officers in Dynasty Warriors, won't have any special cavalry mechanics with this class system. This probably goes the same for like Huang Zhang, who's like, you know, the archer. As far as historical battle missions that are going to be returning in this game, the Battle of Guandu and the Battle of Cherbi have been confirmed. Also, we kind of already knew this, but ruler, officer, and vagabond ways of life are returning in this game. Sharing Creator Warriors Online is going to return, and replacing historical officers also returns in this game. So yeah, that's basically everything in the past week wrapped up in one nice, neat little video. Feel free to go back and watch anything. I'm going to put timestamps in the video. I'm going to put the full gameplay on the top right or in the description. Uploaded by GrowTube TV, check them out. And so I do have a question for you guys though. How do you guys feel about this game, seeing the gameplay so far and everything that's come up to this point? What are your thoughts on it? Because like, there's not a lot of people talking about this game, so I really want to know. Other than that, it's been real, man. It's KC signing out, I guess.